The EWA Training Systems Development Group in Lake Mary, Florida, provides solutions to meet your mission rehearsal, virtual exercise, or equipment training requirements. Using an original approach, EWA has developed discrete software components such as the Electronic Warfare Scenario Simulator, EWSS, and the Mission Rehearsal System, MRS. When combined with small custom add-ons, these components form an application suite designed to meet your specific needs. The EWSS provides a high-fidelity simulation of platforms, emitters, and the environment in which they operate. Shown in this map view of the scenario, platforms are denoted by standard NTDS symbology. Active emitters are depicted by beam width, red, scan sector size, blue lines, and unambiguous PRI range, blue circles. The platforms in an EWSS scenario have full 6 degrees of freedom motion models with parameters suitable for customizing surface, subsurface, and airborne craft. Platforms may host 0 or more emitters, and any platform in the scenario can be designated to receive a real-time signal data stream. Each emitter in the scenario consists of one or more emitter modes, which themselves consist of a beam shape, a scan pattern, and a pulse table. Beam shapes are defined by selecting azimuth and elevation cross-sections. A number of selectable scan patterns are available with parameters that specify areas covered and rates. Descriptions of each pulse and pulse sequence are maintained in the easy-to-modify pulse table. Modifications to the scenario, platforms, or emitters can take place at any time the user desires, with or without pausing or stopping the scenario. During scenario runtime, the EWSS updates platform positions, orientations, emitter mode changes, and target tracking events. Also, emitter scans and pulse sequences are determined. This data is evaluated for power, antenna gain, and link attenuation due to atmosphere, distance, and terrain, as would be received in the vicinity of a selectable receiver platform. This electronic view of the scenario is then streamed to the selected receiver's platform output port for use by other software, in our example, the MRS. The Mission Rehearsal System, MRS, provides a reconfigurable container for executing simulated equipment models. These simulated devices are contained in a full 3D environment and are completely independent of one another. Devices are selected from a library, dropped into the configuration, and positioned in 3D space. Signal paths are defined by graphically connecting outputs to inputs. The equipment models hosted by MRS accept the EW signal data streaming out of the EWSS. Models such as an antenna or receiver modify the incoming stream of data as would a real device, and then pass that data on to the next device in the chain. For example, a user may tune a simulated receiver to 500 MHz. If an incoming signal had 2 components, one at 500 MHz and another at 510 MHz, only the 500 MHz portion of the stream data is passed down the chain to other devices. Since the scenario environment is separate from the simulated devices, a more realistic user experience is enforced. Simulated devices are required to handle all incoming signals as would a real device. This adds the automatic inclusion of unintended consequences. For example, receivers are jammed or not jammed based on the simulation's ability to separate and process environmental signals. In addition, component technology allows access to edit all aspects of the scenario through publicly available interfaces. This makes the EWSS an ideal choice should you require an add-on EW capability to an existing environment. Whether your training requirements include standalone device training, mission rehearsal, or networked virtual exercises, the Mission Rehearsal System and EW Scenario Simulator together can provide the solution.